Hi, I'm Madeline Joan. Thanks for clicking on my little About Me video. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about how I got into tarot and astrology, why they mean so much to me, and how I use these tools of divination. All sorts of readers will have different feelings and insights, different ways of doing things, and this is just mine. Take what you like, leave the rest. This is by no means dogma or doctrine. So I was raised in a very barefoot hippie household. I was baptized Catholic. My mother was very into Jesus, but she happened to be also a very barefoot hippie Jesus Catholic, more about the Jesus, less about the dogma, which was very cool. So I was born into a house that was very welcoming and free. Thankfully, many people don't have that experience where they're allowed to sort of explore their own views and find their own way. And I'm very blessed that my parents gave me that. I grew up with astrology. I was surrounded by astrology books. My mother was an amazing astrologer. She would cast charts for friends, you know, obviously for family, and really just do amazing healing work and psychological work with them. So I very much grew up around that. I mean, I've been reading those books since I was probably about 5 years old, since I could read like See Spot Run. I've been wanting to know about, oh, Venus conjunct Mars, that's the pussy perfume, right? Did not say that at 5 years old. Haha. But when I turned about 8 years old, I happened to be at a bookstore with my mother, and we were walking around the metaphysical section, as I and she were both wont to do. And I was eating up astrology books as normal, you know, as usual, just looking at everything and so excited. But then I saw this beautiful deck of cards, and I didn't know anything about tarot. I wasn't familiar with even the concept, so I didn't know at all what they were. I was just really drawn to these beautiful images. It was the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and I asked my mother for them. And this is also kind of odd because we were very poor, so that kind of behavior was just a non-starter. I mean, I pretty much knew not to ask for anything when we were out somewhere. But this day I felt really inclined. And my mother, she didn't really say anything, but she kind of looked at me and she had this like little smile and that little mom twinkle. And she got them for me. Mom magic at its best. I don't know where she got the money. I know she didn't shove them down her pants. I would have seen. Not that that was outside the realm of possibility. Haha. So she took me home, and I'm pulling out these cards, and I'm looking at the book, and I'm just looking at the images, and I'm just, swept away. And then that's when my mother kind of laughs and says that she used to read, and she can help me learn how. A few years later, she passed away when I was 12. So that was... It's unspeakably important to me, and it is my pleasure and my purpose to help other people find their way through the tarot. It's done so much for me. It's done so much for friends and family that I've had the gift and opportunity and honor of reading in the past. And it's what's most important to me in the world. There are so many things that I'm passionate about. But I feel all problems sort of come back to this, right? All problems sort of come back to ourselves. We can put all kinds of judgments and expectations on the outer world, and I do, of course. But I do believe that tarot, astrology as well, tarot helps us reveal so many things within us, some things that we do see and some things that we don't. And these archetypes, they're just a reflection of our internal life. They're just images to show us, here's what you're going through, here's your trajectory. This is supposed to be about me, right? I have a big problem with that. I like getting immediately into what I think about tarot, but I guess I should do that in another video. But I have been continuing to read since now I was 8 years old. So it's been more than 20 years since then. I'll be 32 in October. Libra. And it's such an alive art. Anybody else who reads tarot, I'm sure, would agree. It's just amazing and fascinating how the same 78 cards can show you completely different pictures, completely different paths, lives. It's just the way that they find to resonate with so many different people of so many different personalities and situations, and the uncanny manner in which they reflect what's going on. I mean, you cry, you laugh, you freak the fuck out when you get your cards read, because nobody should be able to tell you these things. Certainly not some static cards with a little picture on them that were drawn, you know, what, 13th century? No one's really sure. Definitely centuries and centuries and centuries ago. What could this possibly have to do with anyone's life, let alone life in the 21st century? But what can I say? They have a way. They've never let me down. And I'm not patting myself on the back. Again, I feel like most tarot readers would say that when they've read someone's cards, they've had a pretty consistent record of people saying, I don't know how you could possibly know that, but that is absolutely the truth. And it's not about the reader. The reading is not, the accuracy of the reading is not on me or on any reader. Everything is done through spirit, for spirit, by spirit. We are a conduit for a gift that is in everyone, in you. Whether you trust your gut or not, you have intuition, you have psychic abilities. If you wanted to pick up the tarot and read it, you could, or though you may find that your talent lies more in astrology or numerology or charm readings or any of the myriad ways of divination that we have. But self-reflection, right? They're all very useful. They're also beautiful. But tarot and astrology are the ones that resonate with me the most, and therefore the ones that I've made my path, my work. Thank you for tuning in. I feel like I've made this too long already about myself. If you've enjoyed it, I welcome you to ask any questions that I may not have covered here. You may have noticed I tend to stray away from talking about myself. I don't really like to do it. But if you have any questions, either about my tarot background or anything like that, I welcome you to send them or share them in the comments below, or find me on social media, which is also linked below, and ask me there, tell me there. I'm very curious to get to know you too. And I thank you again for listening to this long ramble about me and tarot. And I promise I'm going to get better at this. Maybe. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. You have a good day, and I'll see you next time.